YouTube, it's Lee again, and I had to comment on this portion of a debate that I saw between, it's titled Precept Apologetics, My Context, Matthew419, Bible Thumping Wingnut, William Tyndall, and someone named Mere Christian Logic. And this fucking had me fired up. And the reason it has me fired up is because this shows the true ignorance of Matthew419. Now, toss all this precept shit aside for a second. There's no... This is the root of why they take such a hardline position with their apologetic. It's not because of this amazing precept argument that they claim to have. It's not that it's so airtight and undefeatable. It's because they're fucking ignorant of science and facts. And who better demonstrate this ignorance than Matthew419? So, here we go.
What if we explain
so
all
it
of
doesn't it doesn't really matter.
What if we
Actually,
explain
it
what
would
if we
matter
explain
in
every
one
single
sense.
Do all the contradictions in evolution bother you as equally as the
What
contradictions in
contradiction
the
in
Bible?
evolution?
That there's no evidence for it.
The gaps?
You're kidding me.
Explain to me how life came from non-life.
Actually, that's abiogenesis, and that's
He's
research.
gonna slice and dice that one. We gotta go straight into.
Explain to me how nothing became something and blew up and turned into everything. Explain to me one case where chaos turns into order. Explain to me how a tornado could hit a junkyard and turn it into a car dealership. Do you have one example of how that's ever happened?
I'm not into the absurdities, and I'm not
Well,
saying
that's what
that
evolution
I'm
is.
all-knowing about...
Well, what have we learned from this little video? We learned that Matthew419 literally knows nothing about evolution. And he puts this ignorance on display in fantastic fashion. Because then he goes into this rapid fire questions to the person he's talking to. First asking, does it bother you about all the contradictions in evolution? And then when asked what contradictions, he says, the fact that there's no evidence for it. Well, first of all, those are two separate questions, you fucking idiot. Notice he didn't give any actual contradictions. See, that's the thing. When asked what contradictions, since he doesn't know anything about it, he didn't give any. He immediately switched to the fact that there's no evidence for it. Now that's even a stupid statement in and of itself. Evolution being the most established and accepted scientific theory because there's so much evidence for it. It's monumental, and in fact it's not even a question at this point. So then he goes on in his typical idiotic fashion and rapidly asks all these questions that are basically straw man questions, and they really don't make any sense, to be honest with you. He says, explain how life came from non-life, which is another typical theist question. And when it pointed out to him, no, that's abiogenesis. He then explains, or then he asks, explain to me how nothing blew up and became everything. He's obviously referring to Big Bang cosmology, which you can tell by that statement he doesn't know fucking anything about. Then he goes into this argument from design about explain to me how a tornado can blow through a junkyard and turn into a car dealership. And I don't even know why that's even a good question. I don't know why he thinks that's a good question. I mean, and at the end of it all, he goes, "But that's what evolution is." No, that's not what evolution is, you ignorant fuck. These aren't even really atheist questions. You'd be better off asking these questions to biologists, physicists, astrophysicists, cosmologists, people that actually work in the field. Now I understand that atheists, what they accept is, normally congruent in a lot of ways with accepted scientific theory, and I get that, but they're not atheist beliefs in and of themselves. However, this really says a lot to me. It shows that to me that no matter how much bravado goes into this precept argument, no matter how deep philosophical questions they throw at you, that's all a smokescreen. I mean, you can easily tell that the basis, the root, the core of why they're so just take such a hard stance with this Christianity is not because of this argument. It's because they have no fucking understanding of science, and they buy into this theist bullshit that gets peddled around, and it's really kind of sad. And I'll just say this before I go. Matthew419, Len, whatever. I really, really hope, really, really, really hope that you have as little contact with children as possible. I really hope you're not a teacher or a coach or anything along those lines, because you really need to not peddle that shit to the youth of America. It's going to create a whole new generation of ignorant people that believe in Bronze Age fairy tales and that don't understand science. And this is Lee. I'll catch you next time. Bye.